Good morning. Good morning from Montargis. I can never remember how to say the name, but Montargis. It's a little town about 120 kilometers south of Paris. It's a really nice little place. When I first got here, I was like, I don't know, it's a bit industrial, but it actually isn't. It's very pretty. There's a lot of historic buildings around, and everyone's friendly. So I wasn't going to stay here very long, a couple of days, and then move a bit further upstream. But I've got a nice mooring. That's the police station. So I think the boat is fairly safe. And I talked to the guy in the boat in front of me about paying for the place, and he's like, sometimes they come around, sometimes they don't. There's a fair in town, and I think we might have to come back here tonight. This morning we are going to make beans for the beans. It's got the canal running right through it. The boat is up there to the right, and there's a post office there. A little footbridge, a little electric scooter whizzing by, and the canal going south. But we're just walking around a little bit for a moment. I like being on the boat, but it's quite good to get out and walk around these places a bit as well, because they're beautiful, they're nice. And otherwise, the only thing I'd ever see is the inside of the boat. Just a big church. It also has this rather fine bakery. We are going for a bike ride. I want to explore the next possible mooring place, which is just about 2 kilometers down the river canal. So this is the next lock down from where I am right now. It's just another one of those automatic locks where you push a button when you're down there, and then the levels equalize, and then the gates open, you go in, you pull one of those levers there, the blue one, you push up, and that opens it closes this side, and then it opens the sluices at that end, and then once everything's equalized, those gates open. It's all done automatically. It's actually really cool. It works really well. This is the little port they have here. It looks like there might be power there, but I don't know. I'm gonna walk up here a little bit, and it's a little bit less urban than the last place. Not that there's anything wrong with urban, but quack, 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 quack. Ducks. Could be a problem mooring, because that's a very sort of angular side, so I wouldn't be able to get that close. I could actually make this spot work. There's a few bits where the angles are quite steep, so I just want to be very careful not to, because this is hard rock, and the last thing you want to do is get your propeller bashing on the hard rock. At Swale it didn't matter because it was like soft mud, so if you went aground it was just going into mud, you just churn it up. But here it would matter, so you kind of like turn off the propellers and coast in, lasso yourself to one of these spots and then push off rather than using the motors to get you off. That could work. And I was talking to someone the other day about like living on a boat, and I'm like, nah, it's not really weird, you just do it. But when you think about it, it is a little strange that everything I have, like everything, is on this boat. Home again, home again. This is the problem that I'm having. I can't move my boat anywhere further south because they're doing big repairs on this bridge in Montargis. I'm going to end up spending more time than I was expecting on the rivers and canals because they're actually closed. I knew they had some closures. I checked on the website and I figured them out, but the website isn't completely up to date. So there's a bit more closure stuff going on than I had originally thought, but it's not a problem. I don't mind because I'm having such a nice time here in France that I don't really care how long it takes to get down there, but eventually I'll get down there, but that's all right. And by there I mean like Montpellier, Marseille kind of area, probably. I had no idea a boat that big could get through here. That's crazy. Well, this is rather exciting. I just got a call from my friend, one of my favorite people in the whole world, Mandy Hayes, is coming to town. It's Mandy. Bye-bye, Maddie. Bye. Bye. It's about 6 months since I had my second vaccination boost, so I thought it was a good time to wander around town and see if I can find the local COVID vaccination place and get a booster, because it just seems like the right thing to do. I'm healthy, I'm young, and I'm fairly isolated here, and people are being pretty sensible, but there's no harm in just getting the booster. I've got nothing against it. I think it's a good idea, so that's what I'm gonna do. Well, this is a nice surprise. My friend Heidi from LA suddenly announced that, do you want to visit her? And I'm like, yeah, sure, when? And she's like, tomorrow. Heidi! Look! Baggage!
Concentration. Ready?
Making socks for Francois for Christmas.
Bye, Francois. Hi, Heidi. of the funnier things about Montargis is they have this speaker system that transmits music all over the whole town, all the time. I don't really have room for a Christmas tree this year because I'm on a boat, but I do have a... That's real. Kinda. Merry Christmas. Before I leave, there's a couple of things I need to do. I need to check the weed traps, which are here and over there. You can see in there, but that is nasty. These filters go between the water and the diesel engines, and they filter all the crap out so that the pumps work properly. But it's been a couple 100 kilometers, so it's good to clear them out. Look how gross they are. Clean. Well, the time has come to move on from glorious Montargis. Well, not really, because I'm just moving about 1.5 kilometers upstream, so it's not really a big move, but I don't care because it's moving again, and I've been here for a few weeks, and getting back on the road again will be fun. I've really enjoyed this little town. It's not like I've got to know the people. I mean, I've spoken to a few people, but I don't speak French, so that's a big sort of block. But everyone I have spoken to has been great. All the shops are really friendly and helpful, and most people do speak a little bit of English, enough to like communicate what you need. But I'm just getting the boat ready now, and then we're off. So we got off about 90% efficient. It's funny, I'm so anticipating going that I'm like, no, don't be nervous, you got this, you've plenty of time. And then all of a sudden at the last minute you're like, ah! This is the bridge that just got repaired. It's just the antennas. And the lock is open. I like these old lock keepers' houses. They don't use them anymore. I mean, someone lives in there, but they don't use it as a lock keeper's house anymore because everything's automatic. Well, fairly automatic. Mostly automatic. So now you can see the lock gates opening. And they've already got the gates open for the next one. So we're just going to cruise straight in. And then that's it for the day. It's a really pretty little town. I've never heard of it before I got here, but it's known for its bridges. It's got 147 bridges in. Bonjour. Sorry about that noise that's in the background, but they're doing some pile driving kind of over there, which is where I was going to moor, but I'm not now. And there's a bit of a delay in moving forward because the VNF guy over there is just removing a whole bunch of shrubbage and debris from the lock gate where it has to open, and it can't open because there's so much crap in the way, because I'm the first boat through after the winter. So, but you don't buy a boat to get anywhere fast, right?
Continue?
I don't know, maybe not, just here today.
You stop here?
Yeah, one day.
Yes, one day.
And here I am at my temporary new mooring. I was going to go here, just there, but they've been doing some construction and improvements, which is great, but they pull up all the power points, so I can't plug in anywhere. It's a little bit of a strange mooring because it's actually at an angle, which I don't like, because it puts the propellers a lot closer to rocks and things. Half the town just up there. I didn't come far, but that was intentional. I just wanted to get through the last 2 locks here, and then there's about another 5 kilometers that way, and that's the next series of locks, which I have to it's just mud, which I have to make a phone call in the morning and let them know that I'm going that way, and they'll open the locks for me and we'll go through. And I have to say, the VNF people have been great. They've been super easy to communicate with. You send them an email, it comes right back to you. You call them up, if they're open, you have to make sure you call at the right time. And they don't speak great English sometimes around here. Further back up towards Paris, they speak fluent, but down here, not so much, but enough to get you through the locks safely. So it's all good. When I got here, I thought I'd be able to plug into that little station over there. The boat is currently running off battery power that's coming from my solar charged batteries, and if they run out tonight, I can just put the generator over there and I'll have power if I need it. I don't think I'll need it. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. I'm gonna move on because there's a really loud like pile driver thing doing some repairs at the dock. So an early start for me, which is good. And I'm gonna just see how far I go today. Finally leaving Montargis. All clear. There's some low bridges around here. These guys are on it. They're really good. I called up this morning and said, okay, I'm departing. And they're like, I forgot what he said now, but something in French that sounded like it made sense. He's like, okay, proceed. And so I'm proceeding, and the lock gate's open. Again, first boat for like months to go through here. Almost screwed up because I've been cruising with one engine, and I need 2 when I get in the lock, and so I'm like, why isn't it? Oh, quick! So 2 engines. It just gives me a lot more control. It's closing. And there's the little guy in the VNF. And that's the little sign to let you know how far it is to the next lock.
infrastructure, economic warfare with NotPetya, and then also trying to influence the elections or disrupt them in Ukraine. So it's done all these things combined with different kind of gray zone instruments, and this has...
The gentleman there said the next 4 locks are automatic, but they sense the boat coming and then they operate. So I don't even need to use the remote, which is even lazier. They're in the process of automating these locks. You can see there, that little pole thing, that's going to be the controller, but they're not automated yet. So the nice VNF people come out and help.
She's studying medicine in Ukraine, but has not been able to organise a UK visa for her fiancé. As a result, they attempted to...
A little sign saying that there's a camera watching me. Ah, there you go. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little red and green thing right there that tells me that they're paying attention, and now I just have to slow down and wait whilst the lock keeper does the locks, which he's doing right now. The system's working really well. They're in the process of upgrading everything, so they're having to do things a bit manually right now, but they're super communicative and easy to work with, easy to get hold of. You can do it by email, you can do it by radio, and you can do it by phone, which is what I'm doing right now. But I don't even need to make a phone call, because once I've picked up this guy, he just follows me round to the next lock and then we go through it. So, works great. You want to make sure that you're far enough back from the gates when they open, because you want to get your boat in a nice stable condition when it's entering the lock. So if you go too close to it, you can sometimes be like dodging around a little bit, whereas now I got chance to get everything right central, because there's only like so much either side, and you don't want to crash into the concrete because the concrete's going to win. And there's little currents from the water knocking you around, so you really have to pay attention. And as you're approaching these lock gates, you can't go too slow, because if you're not using enough power, there's not enough water going over the rudder to make the rudder effective, so you have less control. So you want to balance the power out between going too fast and too slow, which is a little bit like trying to figure out when an avocado is ripe to eat. The next one's just opening. You can see it right there. That's for emergencies, and when you arrive in the lock, that's the thing you grab and push up, and then it starts the lock operating its sequence. I had no idea how any of this worked before I got here. I know now. And because I'm the only person going through the lock, it's best to wear a life jacket as well. If there's someone else here, it's not so important, but if it's just me, safe. So that last one was a little bit hairy because one of my fenders dropped off, so I had to like grab the boat hook and fish it out again as the water was coming in, so you gotta pay attention. You can see how shallow it is. I kind of just want to tie off for a little bit. Oh no, it's opening. Cool. All right, change your plan. Onward. Gate opening there, and we just wait till they're fully open before you go forward. Because if they're not quite fully open, but you're like, oh, I can do it, and then they jam, your boat is going towards a lock gate that's not open, which, as you can imagine, would be what we in the boating community called fuck. Only another 100 or so to go. Cool. Got it. Got back. These things are gross. Ew. I like these little old lock keepers' houses. 1858. Here we are at about 10 kilometers south of Montargis. We left at 10 o'clock and now it's about 12 o'clock, so it seems about right. It's pretty good. I'm just tied off here for a few minutes. I didn't eat breakfast because I didn't think I was hungry, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get something on the way, but then I couldn't stop. I had to keep going, so no breakfast for me. So we do a little gentle push off as you untie yourself. Start the engines first. And off we go. Always make sure you start your engines before you start undoing things, because it would be really bad to undo a bunch of stuff, float away, and have an engine not start. All bad. Sometimes when the boat is rising in the lock, it gets a little dirty. But there's nothing you can do about it until you get to clean your boat later. Always turn around and look behind you as you pull away from anything, because you might have dropped something overboard. You never know. I mean, you probably haven't, but it's just a good idea just to like glance behind you every time you leave a lock or leave a mooring. Just check that everything's as it should be. The arch is actually folded down right now because I got to get under some low bridges, but the dish still works. You always want to aim for the middle because the middle's a little bit higher. Normally I wouldn't string ropes like that because that's not good, but the footpath is over there and this is not a footpath really, so that's okay. And I can just put the generator out over there somewhere so that it doesn't disturb anybody. I can live without the generator, but it's easier with. So tonight we're doing with. Well, that was a good day on the boat. A lot of mileage, kilometerage under the keel, and successfully navigated a bunch of locks. No problems. Everything went very well. So I guess rest up tonight. Quiet night here on the canal, and I'll see you tomorrow. Please hit the little subscribe button somewhere down there, and that way. way. I don't know, one of those ways. But do that, and then the little bell button to get notified when the next one comes up. It's going to be good, probably. Thank you. Good night.